He has the talent, the domination, the class, the work ethic.
Ryan with time, throwing deep, Sanu! Touchdown!
Oh, they've got Julio Jones!
Matt Ryan, I believe, is the leading candidate for the MVP.
In football vernacular, we say the game is moving slowly in front of him.
And his confidence level's at an all-time high.
Ryan over the middle, wide open, touchdown, Aldrick Robinson.
The Atlanta Falcons can keep up what they've been doing. They got something special brewing there.
What do you do differently now in year 10 than you did maybe in year 5?
Well, I think one, I'm much more specific about my training. Really zoning in on one or two things to work on and attacking that, and realizing that, you're not going to solve 25 issues in one off season, but let's kind of work on specific things. So I think my focus has gotten much better, much more narrow as I've gotten older, and I think as a result, I've seen improvement throughout the off seasons.
Dan Quinn told me, he said, it's pretty amazing when a guy of your stature goes from where you were to where you went. What do you have to do to go from where you went to the next step?
Well, I think, we talk all the time in our organization about trying to get 1% better. And I think, it's easy to do when you're not playing very well, to get a little bit better. But when you're playing well, to get even better, that's the hard stuff. And I think it takes even more work. And even more specific focus on the things you're trying to improve at, and really staying disciplined to it and attacking that for months on end. And I feel like I've done that the last couple of years, and I feel like the results have been seen on the field.
Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his 5th! What a comeback!
All right, I'm going to take you back to a place you probably don't want to go, to the Super Bowl. You said you watched it 3 times. Why, and is that it?
Well, one, the first time through was to just, see if it felt like what it felt like on the field. And then the second time I watched it was to really go through it with, in detail, to look at what we did well, what we didn't do well. When we get back there, let's make sure we don't do this or we do that. And then the third time was really to try and just flush it out of the system. And, I think that helped. I think it was advice that I got from some people that I was close to try and, embrace that, deal with it as quickly as possible, and then start to move on. And I feel like once I started to get back into my normal off-season routine and working on, footwork or throwing or training, it kind of helped me really get past it.
You said you were in a funk a little bit after that. For how long, and how'd you get out of that?
Yeah, I think, for a week or two after, you're kind of just in, you're not in a good mood, and you don't really want to hear from people. You don't really want to talk to people. You get past it by realizing, what, life's pretty good. I've been fortunate to be in this position for a long time. I've got a great family. I'm healthy. I'm surrounded by people that I love all the time. Life's pretty good, and if this is the worst thing you have to deal with, it's okay. And that's kind of it, just keeping the proper perspective on what happened. We lost a game. It was really important. It's frustrating. We're all pissed, but we're going to get back there. And having that optimism and belief that we know the recipe to get there, and now we've got to figure out the recipe to win it.
Out of the shotgun, Ryan gets hit. Ball is out. This is a fumble.
Let's go back to a few plays from that game. One being the turnover where you got sacked by Dante Hightower, ball came out. Devontae Freeman didn't block him. When I went back and watched that play, it looks like you're getting ready to unload a touchdown to Robinson, I think, on the deep ball.
Yeah, it's one of those things. The margin, for error or the difference between wins and losses are very small. And they're even magnified in a game like that because you've got the 2 absolute best teams in the league playing at that time. And so, we missed our opportunities. We had opportunities across the board, that being one of those plays, a critical 3rd down situation where we just didn't execute the way that we're capable of. Had we executed a little better, maybe we had an opportunity to score on that play or at least convert that 3rd down. There's a handful of those in that game, and that's just one of them. But that's life in the NFL. That's when you play against the best players in the world, you have to be on top of your game at all times.
Phenomenal catch by Julio Jones on the sideline.
When Julio makes the catch on the sidelines, I told one of I told your head coach and I told your general manager, you take 3 knees, you kick a field goal, you probably have a ring on your finger. Take me through that whole process there. You ran on first down, you lost a yard, then you come back on second down, and you got sacked. Could you have changed the play? Did you want to change the play? How does that work?
You know, that's one of the questions I've been asked, you know, throughout the offseason. It just doesn't really work like that in this league. I mean, when play calls come in, especially in the system that we were in, you know, we would like to wait into the play clock quite a bit. Play calls were long. It's just one of those things. We didn't have the opportunity to change it. I'm sure we all would have liked to have done it different. We didn't get the outcome we wanted. So we all would have liked to have played maybe that series differently, but we didn't. And that's one of the things you have to live with, you have to deal with. And hopefully that's one of the things that as we move forward, we don't do again. And I've learned from that. So, you know, I wish we would have done something different, but, you know, such is life, and we got to be able to move on from that.
I went back and watched it again. There was 4 seconds on the play clock when you snapped the ball, so it wasn't like you had much of an opportunity to change the play.
Exactly. That's it's one of those things. When you're down in the clock, especially with personnel, with noise, with all those things, it's extremely difficult to get it communicated differently. You know, you've got 40 seconds in between plays to get it in. You've got the time allotted for you. We got the ball snapped with 4 seconds. It's just how it goes.
You have become a quarterback. You won the MVP last year, and yet you're still a quarterback who people pick apart on a regular basis. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. You know, I don't worry about it too much. I think that everybody has, you know, their opinion. Everybody has their perspective. I know what I'm capable of doing. I'm extremely confident in my ability. I feel like I'm playing really well within the system right now, and I know that I'm capable of going out there and helping our team win no matter who we're playing. And at the end of the day, that's really all you want to do.